This is our second video for the Crazy Hope Dealers. So our format looks a little bit different today. As you see, Amy's in one place, I'm in another place. So we have a sickness, not going to say which one is sick, but so we had to do it separately. But today our topic is going to be on friend relationships. And I know that's kind of a weird topic that you would think, why are y'all doing that? Because y'all are two friends that are doing this YouTube video. But we thought it was so important to just kind of talk to you a little bit about relationships and how important they are, and just kind of to give you some good advice going forward. So just to start it up, how many people out there think that they are doing life by themselves and they're doing perfectly fine? I have to raise my hand like I thought I was, but I now have a good community of friends that have told me otherwise. I could not handle it by myself. Ask Amy. Amy knows I'm a mess. So just going forward, I just wanted to let you know, like, things that you can't do without friends. If you got down and you got sick, for instance, and you had nobody there, not a husband, you were just, single by yourself, you could be sick for 2 or 3 days and nobody would even call or message you, bring you over some soup, help you out. But with friends, if that 24 hours goes by and they hadn't heard from you, or you haven't heard from them, you would send a little text over and say, hey, I hadn't heard from you today. What's going on? And then they would tell you they're sick and you could bring them over some food or help them out in any way. I kind of realized that a little bit more this past week, and Amy did too. She went on a trip also, and I just realized how important relationships are, and you never know how you are affecting other people until you actually reach out and talk to them. Amy has a couple of stories about that, so I'll let you say that.
Well, I went on a trip with the church to Israel, and there was about 105 people that went. And so majority of the people I did not know at all. There was a group of ladies who were Korean that went, and something deep inside of me said, man, I want to make them feel welcome. I want to know who they are, and I want to friend them. And and so through the week, I would do my best to put myself out there. And sometimes it's hard for people to put themselves out there when they want to know somebody, because a lot of us are scared that we won't be accepted, we'll just be rejected. And but I think my personality is that I kind of make a fool out of myself sometimes to know some people, and put my foot in my mouth all the time. But during the week, I was able to just slowly but surely talk to them, and they started giving me food. And so, some snacks here and there, started sharing stuff with me. And so that told me that they wanted to know who I was too. And so I started sharing what I had with them. And so whenever I'd see them, I'd give them high fives. We'd take pictures together and whatever. And so before we left each other, we made sure that we had each other's contact information. And it's not, I was making up nicknames for these ladies because, of course, my name's easy because it's just Amy. But theirs were, things that's, it's hard for me to pronounce. And so anyway, I just kind of made up nicknames, and they were fine with that. But they were just a sweet bunch of ladies that I just absolutely loved getting to know. And I'm hoping that we can have coffee and I can get to know them better. I really want to understand their culture. I want to know, what they do. I want to know how their language, maybe learning a little bit of their language. And so anyway, it was just fascinating getting to know some of the people on the trip that I had seen also all these years, but just never really talked to at church. So anyway.
Yes. Well, no, that's great. And I think, all of us since COVID have kind of stepped away from relationships just because, there was a time in the world where you couldn't go out and do things.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so it's kind of hard for us now to just get out of our own little box and get out there and make friends. And so me, I'm kind of like Amy in a way to where I feel like everything I say when I talk to somebody new is very awkward. Like I'll go from, hey, how are you doing, to, wow, your shoes are really cute. Where did you get that green stripe on the side? Like, who says that? I mean, I'd say weird, random things like that. And then I'm like, they probably thought I was the dumbest person in the world because, those shoes get made in factories. They didn't put that green stripe on there. So it's just really it's funny how we think our awkwardness is going to be the thing that holds us back from making relationships, when really it's just our mind telling us we're not adequate enough to talk to someone else. And if we went out and just spoke, no matter how awkward it is, I've learned the longer I've lived that my awkwardness is what people like about me.
Yes,
So
absolutely. I was going to tell you another story about a lady that was on the trip that I had known for years, but didn't really know her. And just watching her, she's one of those people that just kind of stays in the background and does things. And she was buying treats, little candies and stuff, and she was just giving them to these ladies, these Korean ladies. And I was watching her. I was watching what she was doing. And I said to her, I said, you're a sweet person. And I said, you don't let people see that. I said, you look like you're tough. I said, but you've got a sweet heart. And I think a lot of times we don't pay attention to people when we should be. We don't give people the time of day sometimes because same as the way they probably view us, like, I don't have time to get to know somebody, or they're not going to like me, or you know what I'm saying. And so, but that the rest of the week, it was like we just kind of begin to be pals. And sometimes you just have to take off that hard exterior, to say, okay, they may not like me, but I'm going to put myself out there and I'm going to see where this goes,
Yeah.
It's, it takes a lot to do that, but it's worth it. It can be worth it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Because the day that you decide in your mind that, I just want to not say anything to anybody, is maybe the day that somebody that walked right past you that you could have said something to, that was the day that they were their lowest. And if you had just reached out and said anything to them, it could have changed their whole perspective of the day. So it's and I know that on this video that we do, we are not hiding that we're Christians at all. And Jesus came to earth. Did he come by himself? Well, he actually came through Mary, and he had a family, and he had apostles, that disciples that kind of walked with him. So he was not a loner. He's had people with him. That's the way God wants us to be. He wants us to make relationships, and it's it's easier to try to think you have everything under control by yourself. But in the moments to when your brain tries to overpower you and you think, Your brain can tell you all kinds of things. It can tell you that you're not good enough. But if you have a friend or a group of friends walking beside you, they can speak some truth into you to where your brain's trying to tell you lies. So it's a good thing. And me and Amy's relationship has blossomed from our health program that we were doing. And just getting healthier, losing weight, and then meeting each other, we really feel like we had met a sister that we didn't know we had.
Absolutely. And the scripture that comes to my mind in the Bible is Proverbs 21:17, where it says, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. And that's something that's critical, because you're going to have people that come in and out of your life to sharpen you, to encourage you, that's going to benefit you in a way that makes you better. And we were never meant to be alone. We don't learn very much by being on our own. What's good about our friendship, friendship with Brandy, is that she has really encouraged me. I've seen things about her that has really sharpened me, helped me understand, I want to be a better person. She challenges me in areas. We need these kind of friendships, because when we, just like what Brandy said, was when we're alone, we can really start listening to the lies of the devil attack us, and start believing those lies about us, like, well, nobody wants to be my friend. Nobody wants to talk to me. Nobody, so I'm just gonna hide. And that's really where Satan really wants you. He wants you to hide. He does not want you out there, especially with believers, because if, two are better than one, two are better than one. So, a cord of three strands cannot be broken. That's you and your friend Christ. And that is so important in friendships, that you have that. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, it's just me learning, like, throughout. I was always the child that wanted to play in a corner by themselves, because I had quite of imagination. Like, you can ask anybody in my family, and I would just sit over there and dream up all different kinds of things. And I actually called it Brandyland, what I used to live in, and it had lots of roller coasters, and it had fun balloons, and probably Mickey Mouse was sprinkled in there some, and just different things. But I can stay in my head and I can think of great and wonderful things, but having actually someone there beside me to encourage me and to tell me some of my things that I think bad about myself are actually not bad is a good thing, because just like Amy said, I can sit in my head and think, well, I'm the most awkward person in the world. Why would anybody want to talk to me?
Yeah.
But yet, the outward appearance of me may be completely different. I do have one story that we went to Texas, and my daughter went with me, and I was just so excited about her meeting some of our health community. And we got into the room of it was a church that we were doing our services in. And after I guess it was about 30 minutes in, we'd had probably 20 people come up and talk to us. And my daughter said, wow, this group of people is probably the nicest group of people I've ever been in other than our church. And so it was so good to, for her to see that, because that is the community to where I feel like I have grown just in my boldness and being, reaching out to people more in that way. Because before, like I said, Brandyland was pretty popular in my head, and I didn't want to move out of it. So I think we all have different things about us. You can act completely different on the outside, where inside you're hurting. And if you didn't have friends or relationships, nobody would ever be there to help you. They would just think everything was fine. But friends like to probe each other and like say, okay, like Amy, you got that look on your face. You must not be feeling good today. Or Amy, what is wrong? I mean, and you can be bold, you can be blunt, but because it's the relationship and the trust that you form together to where you know that, you know, she's only got my best interest at heart. So it's kind of, you know, we all need relationships. So if you're out there and you feel like you have no one, we do have an email that you can send out because we will talk to you. We will, you know, encourage you. We're not here just to do videos for our own sake because we think we're funny, because we do kind of think we're funny, but we're here to help others out, because that's what our mission is. So, so just, you know, I think relationships are super important, and we all need to just sometimes get out of our shell, go and talk to somebody. Even if you need help, you need to go out and say, hey, I need somebody to pray for me, or to, you know, just be there for me.
Absolutely. And we feel like we've been called together, but we also feel like we've been called to do this. And we know just in this day and time, you know, people are more and more to themselves, and you know, it's not really healthy it's not healthy to be a loner. So, you know, and we would just encourage you, if you're in a position right now where you're really seeking friendship, email us. We'd love to talk with you, to get to know you, and that would just be a real big encouragement to us.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Because we're not here doing these videos just because we love it. We do kind of love talking to people, but we're doing it mainly to help others. And that's why we came up with our name, the Crazy Hope Dealers, because we do want to spread hope to everybody.
Absolutely. And just to let you know, I have a very hard time remembering our name. So that's the reason why she's opening that with Crazy Hope Dealers. I have to write it down in front of me.
Yeah, you don't want Amy to come out with her version of it because it might not be something that we can, you know, say. So it's
absolutely.
so yes, but no, we hope we leave you a little bit better than when you started this video, and just know that we are here for you, and email us anytime. Thank you guys for everything, and continue to subscribe. And if you need prayers for anything, we're also going to have a link for that. And then because we have lost some weight on our health program and we have a wonderful community, if you want information about that, we'll also send you the link for that. So y'all have a great afternoon, and we will see you next week.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.